Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Andriza and today we are going to discuss the books that I have read for the Reading Rush. The Reading Rush is a readathon which spans 7 days for 7 prompts and is hosted by Ariel and Raylene on their channel over the Reading Rush, and they also have an Instagram channel. I will leave all of their good stuff in the description down below for you guys to check it out. So without any further ado, let's get started. So there were 7 prompts I have written here and the corresponding books. So the first book that I'm going to talk to you about is read a book with a cover that matches the color of your birthstone. So my birthday is on 17th of January, and for January the birthstone is garnet, which is reddish crimson. So I went for a book which has red all over with a black also, and that is I went for Ruin and Rising, the third book in the Grisha trilogy by Leigh Bardugo. This is a sequel, so I can't say much about this one without spoiling it for you. So I'll just talk about the first book, that is Shadow and Bone. I have read that for the month of July, and I will have a wrap up probably, and you will hear about me talking about that book. And the second book, that is Siege and Storm, I have read that for Popsy Readathon. I still have one book left for Popsy Readathon when I am filming this video, so I haven't spoken about that too, so I'm not going to spoil much for you for this one. So I'll just get into the first book. In the first book we follow a girl called Alina, and she is an orphan, and one day when they were crossing this portion of their country, which is like pitch dark, and no magical powers have ever been able to control that portion, and there are volcras are basically they were human beings which have transformed into hideous creatures which basically feed on human beings and other living organisms. So she discovers that she has this amazing power where she can summon light from her, and she is labeled as a sun summoner, and this has never happened in their country, and this could be a pivotal point for their country in emerging as a power. So this last book is obviously the battle of good against evil. Now coming to the book, I the first part of the book I wasn't enjoying much, but the second part, the pace picked up and I started enjoying it. I was going to give it a 3 stars for the second book. For the second part of the book, I managed to convince myself that I will give it a 4, but then I read the epilogue and I fell in love with it and I gave it a 5 stars. I love Leigh Bardugo's writing. I fell in love with her writing after I read Six of Crows. If you want to read Six of Crows, you can read it individually, but if you want to go through the Grisha trilogy, you have to read the Grisha trilogy first, then Six of Crows duology, and then King of Scars duology. The first book is out. The second book of King of Scars, I think, is coming out in 2021. So basically, I love Leigh Bardugo's writing. Her writing has this amazing fluidity, and even if I read her one book in one day, I don't feel heavy. Like, it's like I want more and more of the good stuff that she puts in her books. So yeah, that goes about the first prompt. The second prompt was I'll just skip the second prompt because there's a story after the second prompt. So I'll just go over to the third prompt, which says read a book which inspired a movie you've already seen. Now this was a really difficult prompt for me because honestly I am very skeptical about watching the movies before reading the book, because I sometimes feel that's going to spoil stuff for me, and the books are always better in my opinion. So I had to choose a book very carefully, and going through my bookshelves I saw that there aren't many which will fulfill this prompt. So I went for Mad Love Harley Quinn by Paul Dini and Pat Cadigan. This is the first in the series. Like, this is a trilogy. The first is Mad Love, the second is The Killing Joke, and the third is The Court of Owls. So in this we follow Harley Quinn. Now, why did I choose this book is because I've seen Suicide Squad and have virtually seen all of Batman's movies and the TV series, and I've read the comics, so it made sense. And if you don't know Harley Quinn, I have a pop here. if you can see, she's my favorite DC character. Yes, I don't like Joker or Batman as much as I love Harley Quinn, and that is this feeling of mine is from a very very small age. Like, I love Harley Quinn since I was a kid. So here we follow her journey from being Harleen Quinzel, a 7-year-old child, seeing her father beaten up by the police and discovering that her father is not as a good man as she thought him to be, and discovering stuff about her dysfunctional family, to growing up on her scholarship, on her gymnastics scholarship that she worked hard for when nobody helped her, to becoming a psychiatrist from the Gotham City University. She shifted from Brooklyn to Gotham to have a better life. From there, she goes to Arkham Asylum to help people who have been wronged by the police, as her father was wronged, and becoming Harley Quinn and coming with contact with Joker. So basically, and this is basically a character study. There is no action at all in the book. So if you're looking for action-packed book, this is not one. This is a book which talks about her internal struggles and what she was facing, what was going on, what was going on surrounding her when she was developing, and what were the thoughts in Joker's mind when he saw her first, and what were the thoughts of her colleagues, her family, and all that good stuff. So this is basically her character study and her emerging as a strong independent female who does not give a shit about anybody, not even Joker. In this book, we come across many characters that we have often seen in movies and comic books. We come across Poison Ivy, we come across Magpie, we come across Killer Croc, Batman obviously, and Joker obviously. We also come across Harriet and Louise. We come across all those good stuff. There are a ton of trigger warnings for this book, and I just can't go on listing, so I'll just list a few. There are trigger warnings for pedophilia, dysfunctional families, police brutality, then there is rape, then there is abuse, domestic abuse, manipulation, schizophrenia, hallucination, and so on and so forth. And there's also for violence. So if you want an action packed book, this is not one, but if you want to know more about Harley Quinn, this is an amazing book, and I highly recommend you this one. The next I have is The First Book You Touch. Now what happened is, I did that thing, I just, when I blindfolded myself and I revolved twice, and I touched two books which I have already read. But as I read those books in the beginning of the year, and they were one of my favorites, I thought, why not just reread. So since I read touched two books, and so what I did was, I read one book for The First Book You Touch, and I read one book for read a book that starts with the word the. So for read a book that starts with the word the, I chose The Taking of Annie Thorne by C.J. Tudor. This is her second book. She has an identical book called The Hiding Place, which is the same book but with different names. So I've already spoken about this one, so I'm not going to go in detail, but here we follow a girl named Annie who suddenly disappears one day after following her brother, and when she comes back totally different. Like, she does not give a damn about anyone. She is laughing like an idiot, and she is attempting to kill her own parents. So this was a weird book, and many years later, the narrator, who is her brother, he gets an email saying that the same thing which happened to her sister is going on around in the town again, because a son came back to a mother, and the mother had to kill the son because he was no longer her son. So yeah, this is a really creepy book, and the narrator goes back and finds out what is happening. It has a paranormal supernatural element to it with a very thrilling experience. I gave this a 3.5 stars. Obviously, I love CJ Tudor. Her writing is amazing, and I'm really looking forward to The Burning Girls, which is coming out in January 2021. I will link down below in case you guys want to check out. So yeah, this is the book that I read for a read a book which starts with the word the. And the first book you touch, I actually touched The Other People by CJ Tudor, which is her newest release in this month. I had pre-ordered it in March. So here we follow Gabe, who is like searching for his daughter and his wife for 3 years, and is in the same highway where he spotted her last. And we follow Fran, who is also on the run with her daughter, and she knows what has happened to Gabe and Gabe's daughter and Gabe's wife. And this is a story of how two totally different lives intertwine because of the dark web, and how people take revenge in sorts that cannot even imagined. This was a very very scary book. It kept me awake at night, and this is one of my favorite books of the year. I am explaining not in a very good fashion, but I highly recommend you to check this out. This is said in different point of views. All the characters have their own point of view, so I really love it. There is an amazing supernatural element to it, and which cannot be explained, which is amazing. And I highly recommend you to check this out, because this book is just awesome, and it's one of my favorite books. So if I do make a video of the top 10 books of this year, you can be 100% sure that after Six of Crows, this is bound to be there. The next book that I have is a book completely outside of your house. Now, this prompt posed many problems to many people, because obviously due to the COVID pandemic, it's not possible for many of us to go outside and read. I have a terrace garden, and I have a terrace up, and I have a huge terrace garden here outside this room. But the terrace garden is not a place where I can actually sit and read. But the wall I'm facing right now has like a huge, like two, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Like there are 7 windows on the wall that I'm facing right now, and there is a small space also, which is like in coming inside my house, where you can sit and read. So it gives you an outside experience. So for this one, the hosts have said that you can interpret it in any manner that you want. You can also listen to outside music, or birds chirping or stuff like that, or read a book which is like set out in the outside world, like a forest or something. You can interpret it in any manner. So I sat on the verge of my window slash sitting place slash everything, and I was reading it. And for that, I chose a really short book, because obviously I couldn't have chosen a very long one, and that is Agatha Audley. This is the second book in the Agatha Audley series, called Murder at the Museum by Lena Jones. This is my newest favorite mystery series. This is a middle grade, where we follow Agatha Audley, who is a 13-year-old detective. She has a detective agency. Like, she has two of her best friends in this agency, and they solve mysteries. And there are a lot of like things which come out in the book about her family that she had not known. And she drives a lot of inspiration from Agatha Christie and Hercule Poirot. She is like a living prodigy. She has photographic memory, she has autofocusing in her memory. I can't explain all that stuff if you don't read it, but I'm pretty sure you're going to enjoy it if you pick it up. So here we follow Agatha Audley, who is this in the second book. If you haven't read, please like mute it for some time, because I'm going to spoil some stuff. So she is chosen as one of the secret agents for London, and she discovers that in the museum there is a person who got murdered. But when she goes to the museum, she sees that nothing as such has been taken away. Only a very nominal cup has been taken, which can be easily replaced. So she found it weird that if there's a burglary, why will the robber only take a cup which has no value, and on the other hand kill the person who sees it too. Like if you kill the person, you should at least take something priceless. So this intrigues her and she goes on solving the mystery. So if you're a big fan of Truly Devious and Charlotte Holmes and Sherlock Holmes and Hercule Poirot, please do check this out, because you will get lots of references from Hercule Poirot in this book, and I personally love the series. This is also one of my favorite series right now in this year. I read the first book for Popsy Readathon, and I read the second book for the Reading Rush. No, I read the first book for, I guess, Popsy Readathon, and the third book I guess I read for Bookoplathon. I'm getting confused, but I read the second book right now for the Reading Rush, and I will be talking about the first and the second books, first and the third books in the coming videos. And the next, I have a book that takes place on a different continent than where you live. For this, I chose an ebook that was sent to me by Alcoff Press. Thank you so much for sending it to me. And that is All Stirred Up by Brianna Moore. In this book, we follow a girl who is basically an inheritor of a chain of restaurants called Elliott's. And she falls in love with this guy who is an apprentice there, but then stuff escalate, and eventually they break up because they are going through their own issues in life. But eventually, after 10 years, this guy becomes really rich and he's a celebrity chef now, and he comes back to Edinburgh and he sees that his competition is the girl he loved 10 years back, and now they are both navigating their feelings towards each other on the other, and also maintaining distance and doing their best for their restaurants, because Elliot's is not doing as well as it used to, and Chris's restaurant is, a celebrity chef's restaurant, so they are on head on one. So this is basically a persuasion retelling, a persuasion by Jane Austen's retelling, and I personally loved this book. I gave it a 5 stars. I will link it down below. It is releasing in the month of September, so you guys can pre-order for yourselves. I highly recommend you to check this book out, because it's totally awesome. The characters were awesome, the characters were relatable. There is grief in the book which is handled so well, and this is a debut romance which I thought was done so well. At one point of time I had problem understanding that how can a debut author be so well developed and mature, and the setting of Edinburgh was so beautifully written that at one point of time I was like, God, did I go there? Like, it was so beautiful. And obviously, since there is restaurants, there is like a lush number of food items which are described beautifully. So if you love food, I highly recommend you to check it out. I will also leave a detailed review of this book down in the description down below for you guys to check out before you go forth and buy yourselves a copy. And the last book is a book in a genre that you have always wanted to read more of. Now when I'm in my early 20s, I really miss middle grade, because middle grade is a book with like a genre of book which actually makes me happy. And for Agatha Odlo, I really loved enjoying the book, but I didn't have any anxiety. I have anxiety disorder, so when I have anxiety of reading adult books and fantasies and YA fantasies and other such stuff, I really want to crave something which is light and fluffy but with morals and all the issues that are samely discussed in YA and adult. For that, middle grade, especially contemporary middle grade right now, is an amazing experience. So for that, I chose Tilly and the Book Wanderers, the first book in Pages and Co. This is the first book. I'll show how pretty the book is, isn't it? Actually, I have the second book also that I'm reading. I will read right now. Like, I just finished reading a book yesterday, so I will be picking the second book in this series very soon. And the third book is, I think, coming out either in August or in September. So in this book, we follow Matilda Pages. Pages is a surname, and Pages and Co is a library that her grandparents own. She doesn't know anything about her mother or her father, and her grandparents are very reluctant to speak anything about them. But her life goes on, and she's this 11-year-old child, and her best friend is Oscar, a guy who lives like just opposite. So she suddenly discovers that characters are coming live. Like, she sees her grandmother talking to a person who looks very similar to Elizabeth Bennet from Pride and Prejudice, and she sees her grandfather talking to Sherlock Holmes. And then suddenly she comes across Alice from Alice in Wonderland and a girl who looks very alike from Anne of the Green Gables. So, because these two are her favorite books, and suddenly one day she comes across a certain set of books which are her mother's, and she discovers that A Little Princess was her mother's favorite book, and things escalate from there, and she realizes that she can travel into books. So she goes up to her grandparents and says that, listen, I can go inside books and I am seeing characters everywhere talking to you. So, what is the thing? So, she discovers that she comes from a long generation of book wanderers. Now, book wanderers are people having the magical ability to go inside books and pull out characters from books and talk to them and all that good stuff. And this is all regulated from like a place called the Under Library, which circulates all this stuff. The magic system is very weird in this book, and it's very, very whimsical. So I really enjoyed reading this book. I gave it a 3 stars because three, actually 3.5, because there were things which are predictable. Now granted, these things could be predictable to me, might not be predictable to a person who is actually fit to read these books. So I gave it a 3.5. I really, really liked it. Like, there are illustrations in the book which are very, very pretty. So I would like to show you some illustrations. Like, this is Matilda, her grandfather, and her best friend Oscar, and they're going inside the Under Library. It's very, very pretty. It's an hefty book, okay? Like, it's not very short, like in comparison to the other middle grades that I usually come across. So there are very, very cute illustrations in the book that I really, really liked. And there's a distinct way of like, if I don't know if you can see, but here you can see that the words are coming out like this. Like, it shows the distillation of a particular statement and other such stuff. Now, about this book, what else can I say? Like, she also goes into Treasure Island. So if you're a fan of Treasure Island, you can see, like, there are a lot of book references in this book. So if you're a person who loves libraries and storytelling and all that good stuff, I'm pretty sure you're going to like this one. I'm reading the second book. The hardcover is actually very pretty, but it's just across the room, so I can't show it to you. But it's very, very pretty, and I highly recommend to you, if you haven't ever read a book about books, I highly, highly recommend you to check this out. So that was all the 7 books that I read. Today is basically 26th, and the readathon was from 20th to 26th. I finished all my books by 24th night, so that's a good thing, because I was reading multiple books together, so I finished very fast. And I finished Ruin and Rising, Tilly and the Book Wanderers, The Other People, and The Taking of Annie Thorne in 2.5 days, because these were like really, really short. And also Murder at the Museum, I finished that in like 3-4 hours, because it's very, very short. And I was reading it in my Kindle. According to the Kindle, the number of pages in the Murder at the Museum is like 150, so that's like really, really short. So it was a really, really good experience. The first time I participated in the reading rush, I actually wanted to participate in the mini reading rush that took place in April, but since I was taking part in owls, I couldn't participate. So now I participated. These are my books. Do let me know in the comments if you've read any of these books, and did you participate in the reading rush? What did you read, and what are you doing in this pandemic? Stay safe, have a great day ahead. Mwah.